The sun, always shining up in the skies of Boca, a little town in Florida, bringing people from all over the world to enjoy what the town is famous for: the beach and boardwalk with an amusement park. It has big houses with owners who are always looking bright and happy, but like a juicy fruit in a jungle, it's fooling the ones surrounding it with a beautiful and harmless covering so they wouldn't know what's hiding inside. It was the last day of school. She waited outside for her friends to come out, but they were taking too long. Suddenly, a white car arrives. She knew exactly who it was. The man with sunglasses beeped its horn. Percy looked around and saw that there weren't any signs of her friends coming, so she started walking towards the white car. "How was school?" a calm little voice said. She looked at him. She couldn't see his eyes because of the sunglasses. "Where did you get those sunglasses?" Presley asked. "I found them when I went to buy some stuff at the mall the other day," he says while taking them off. Percy could see his eyes now. She admired his eyes because they reminded her of her father. When they arrived at their house, they both got inside. She turned around to find Callum not standing there. She saw the basement door open. She walked silently towards the door. "Callum," she called. "Come down," Callum's voice came from the basement. She slowly entered the dark room. There was one light bulb hanging on the roof, lighting half of the room. And there, a table filled with different types of tools and half-made weapons were laying there, waiting to be finished and used. "I want to test this one tonight," he said, holding a rifle. Percy stayed quiet but listened. "Wake up at 3 a.m. We'll meet out back. Do you have any you want to test?" "No," she said softly. He nodded. Presley left her brother working and walked to the beach. She liked to go late when the lifeguard shift was over so she could sit on their chair and watch the ocean. The sun was setting and it was getting cooler. "I miss you," she whispered to herself, thinking about her parents, thinking of how she used to come home from school and find her mother waiting for her with food ready. The beach disappeared and her age dropped. Her brother appeared. "Let's race," Callum said excitedly. "But you're better riding than I am. You'll win." "I won't go too quick." "Fine." They both started pedaling at the same speed, but soon Callum started pedaling faster and was leaving Percy behind. "Callum, slow down," Percy yelled, but Callum ignored her and kept pedaling even faster. As Percy was getting closer to her house, she saw police lights and noticed Callum's bike laying in the middle of the street, but couldn't find Callum anywhere. When she finally reached her house, she saw 4 police cars outside and the door wide open. There were a couple of policemen standing outside and waiting. One of them saw her and told her, "Little girl, go home." Percy just looked at him as she got closer to her house. Suddenly, she saw both her parents getting out of the house with handcuffs and policemen surrounding them. "Leave them alone, they didn't do anything." Percy saw her brother yelling at the police and trying to get his parents. "Mom!" Percy got out of her bike, pushed a policeman, and ran towards them. Some policemen tried to get her and her mom noticed. "Callum, take Presley." Callum ran towards Presley and started running away with her in his arms. "Where are we going?" "We have to get out of here. They can't find us." "What are you kids doing?" somebody yelled. Percy woke up from her flashback and felt her face wet from tears. "You kids can't do this in here." She saw a man yelling at some group of teenage girls. When she got to her house, she found Callum in the living room with 2 rifles. "I finished yours for you so you can test it out tonight," he said. "Where have you been?" he asked while placing a rifle on the couch. "I was at the beach thinking about that day." Callum looked at her and didn't say a word, but Presley started to cry. "Come," he said, and she followed him to their backyard. Unlike the other house, their backyard was huge. That's where they would test their weapons so no one could really hear them. Callum gave her her rifle and told her to shoot. Percy took the rifle and did as she was told. She shot once and felt relief. She wanted to shoot one more time, but there was only 1 bullet. Callum then took his own and shot once too. He smiled and walked away, leaving Percy standing there in the dark. Percy stood there for a couple of minutes, remembering the gunshots she heard when she was little. She wanted to shoot again. She went back inside and searched for more bullets. Callum noticed her going back out with her rifle. "Where are you going?" he said, but she ignored him. She disappeared and Callum was going to go after her, but there was a knock on the door. He opened it and couldn't believe his eyes. Presley was now far inside her backyard. Her hands were shaking as she was putting the bullets in. She shot once and started to cry. Her anger was rising, so she kept shooting. She remembered her father laying down on the ground. She pictured the police officers who were there that day and started shooting again. Imagine herself really shooting those police officers. Suddenly she heard Callum's voice. Presley, Presley, stop. He was yelling, but he looked happy. Presley hasn't seen Callum so happy since her 8th birthday. She could hardly see Callum because it was really dark. She walked towards him and he took her rifle, put it on the floor, grabbed her hand, and walked her to the front. She saw a police car. She started to feel fear again, until a woman appeared. Presley, said the woman with joy. Presley immediately recognized her voice. It was her mother. She couldn't believe her mother was standing right in front of her. Presley ran to give her a hug. She felt so much joy she knew it was all over, until the sun arose and heard her brother calling her from inside the house. She opened her eyes and found herself on the ground in the middle of the backyard where the rifle was. Callum walked towards her. What happened? He asked. Had another dream about Mom coming back, she said. Get up, let's go back inside before you get sick.